So Russell, how are we doing?
I'm very good, thanks. All good in the hood, feeling strong, ready for the tour, ready for the record.
Must be pretty busy doing all the promotional stuff for the new record.
It's always busy, and there's always that sense of apprehension before the release of a new record, that feeling of, you know, oh, is it going to go as well as I hope it's going to go, and are the fans going to go out and buy the record? There's always that. I've been doing this now as a recording artist for 12 years, as an artist for 22 years, and there's always a sense of apprehension. You recognise how hard these days in particular you have to work to not just have a career but to sustain it, to maintain a career.
Yeah, because the last time we actually caught up with you was prior to the release of La Voce.
Yeah.
And you were saying that you feel quite pensive before the release of a new album.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel, you know, 2 years on?
Oh, absolutely. There's always that sense of apprehension before you release a record, because you can never stop, you know, you never stop, as an artist we never stop doubting ourselves, you know, because you just never know. There's so much new stuff coming in and out all the time, and the industry's become transient in many respects. You know, you've got things that are coming in very, very quickly with a massive bang, and then they're disappearing just as quickly. So when you've been around for a long time, there's always that fear, well, hopefully, you know I've been around for 12 years, I'm hoping I'm not going to be the next one, and thank God, you know, I have a loyal fan base, people that have followed me for many, many years, and I'm eternally grateful for that, because without them I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be doing what I love.
I mean, you've always kept quite modern, haven't you? You've always kept up with the times, so to speak. You know, there's so many different platforms at the moment, like reality shows, The Voice, X Factor, and you were on a couple yourself, Last Choir Standing and Just the Two of Us. How do you feel about platforms like that these days?
I would never bite the proverbial hand that fed me, but what I would say is that I do think that there are too many of those types of shows, of the talent shows on television now. I think that there is a space out there on television for a variety type show. If it's done well and it's done right and it has the right artist on it, I think there's a space, because there's lots of platforms and lots of formats now for finding and creating new talent, but there's very little out there for looking after the old talent that we have. Yeah, you know, definitely. So the people that have kind of made it and been around for a long time have very, very few platforms now to hone into, to promote and continue their careers.
So let's talk about the record. It's called Anthems, Music to Inspire a Nation. It's out the 28th of May.
Yes, it is.
Tell us about the collection and what it's about.
Well, it's all my favourite British anthems, all culminated and put together on one record. And this is the kind of repertoire that I've been performing and singing up and down the country for the last 10 years in a lot of the outdoor venues where we do the kind of last night of the proms type repertoire. And this is a collection of songs like Jerusalem, Land of Hope and Glory, Danny Boy for Ireland, Flower of Scotland for the Scots, Calon Land for Wales, recorded with the magnificent Fron male voice choir. Lovely guys they were as well. We've got a duet on there with Dame Vera Lynn, which was, again, is an absolute honour, because in the United Kingdom, Dame Vera Lynn is viewed in the light of legend, and I think we use that word too flippantly and too loosely these days now, but a real living legend from the past. And what a thrill to get the opportunity to sing and have the permission directly from her to use one of her original recordings to sing with, and I'm thrilled with how that's turned out. We've got the theme tune from Chariots of Fire, a song called The Running Man, which again I'm really, really pleased with how that's come out, because it's, from my perspective, it was one of the first times that I actually sung it as well, and it's an impassioned performance. You can just hear you can hear something in the voice when you sing something for the first time, as I did on that particular song. You can hear the passion in it. I'm really pleased with how that's come out as well.
So there's so many songs that you could have chosen from that are symbolic of British culture.
Yeah.
How did you decide on these few?
Well, everybody puts their suggestions in. I get the record label come up with their suggestions. My producer comes up with his. Management come up with their suggestions, and then I have my own suggestions, and then basically we do what I want.
Perfect way. Perfect way. Love your method.
The thing is, you've got to, you know, as an artist, in all seriousness, I'm being a bit flippant, but and facetious as well. I think, in all fairness, as an artist, if you perform in specific material, and the environment in which I sing is completely sanitised. So I'm singing in a block room with 4 walls, no windows, there's no audience there to inspire you or lift you. You've got to take yourself on a journey in your own head. Completely, it's a complete mental transformation that you have to go into. Close your eyes, imagine you're somewhere else. And if you're singing repertoire in the first instance that you're not already convinced by, that makes the task of trying to inject passion and emphasis into specific performances almost impossible. So the material that I'm performing, I have to feel it. I mean, Abide With Me was a typical example on the record. You listen to the first verse, and that was the very first pass, very first take I did of it in the studio, and we kept it because there's a wobble, a little quiver in my voice. And that was because I knew that song was one of my grandma's favourite pieces of music. I lost her a couple of years ago. But as I was singing the first verse, I closed my eyes and I pictured my gran, and I started to kind of well up. And that sense of passion is something that you can't teach somebody. You kind of have to go through that type of, you know, it's important that you can inject passion into your music, particularly when you're recording in a studio, because it's really, really difficult to inject that. And again, you know, going back to modern music, so much of it now is so beautifully perfect in every way. It almost sounds surreal. To me, give me Nat King Cole any day of the week, because for me, singing is about passion, it's about character. Why does somebody like, say for instance, David Bowie, why is he such a phenomenal success? Is it because he has an amazing voice? No, it's because he has character, and that character comes out in the vocal performances. That's what makes him sensational. And it's exactly the same with the likes of, say, somebody like Nat King Cole. Was he the best singer in the world? No. But the voice sounds like thick oak. It's just beautiful and velvety and rich and amazing. And even now, if you listen to a Nat King Cole recording, say for instance now, against a modern recording of a modern act that has all the technical paraphernalia surrounding them and all the enhancements in the world that you can run through a computer to make it sound brilliant, Nat King Cole, I guarantee you, will sound better. It's all about character. And we've forgotten a lot. We've lost our way in a lot of respects with regards to character in music.
So with that in mind, do you feel like you hit the nail on the head with what you set out to achieve on Anthems?
I like to think so. I like to think that I've injected my character. I wouldn't compare myself with the likes of somebody like Nat King Cole, for instance, but I like to think that I've given my own interpretation. And I genuinely believe, I have this philosophy, that if the intent of the performance comes from here and comes from here, then that's as good as you can deliver. Whatever it sounds like when it goes through the microphone and down the lead into the recording machine is however it sounds. But if the intent to deliver comes from here, from the soul, then you can't do any more than that. And that's what I do. Every time I stand in front of a microphone, my intent comes from here.
So you're going to take the record out on the road.
Yeah.
You're going to go on the Diamond Jubilee tour.
I am.
What can fans expect from the shows?
Loads of flag waving, come along, bring your voice boxes with you, because we're going to have a bloody good sing-song and have an absolutely fantastic night. And like most of my concerts that I've done in the past, I just want people to come along and go on a journey with me and enjoy the evening. Just have a great time, go away and say, oh God, that song, you know, I listened to Danny Boy and it made me cry, and Land of Hope and Glory put a big smile on my face and I got goosebumps, and that's what I want. That's what I want from my show.
So it's a very patriotic year. It's a very patriotic themed year with the Jubilee, the Diamond Jubilee, as well as the Olympics.
Yeah.
What do you think, what do you believe it means to be British these days?
Well, for me to be, I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm proud that I'm from the north as well. It's not just about being British for me. Wherever I go, whether I'm in Japan, the United States, New Zealand, Australia, wherever I travel throughout the world, I'm proud of my nation. I'm proud of my heritage, and this is a demonstration of my pride of who I am and where I'm from. It's as plain and simple as that.
So, apart from the tour, and obviously you're going to be quite busy with the promotion of the new record, what other projects have you got planned for the rest of the year?
I've got some I'm so lucky. My career has been so blessed over the years. I've been invited to sing on Capitol Hill, just in front of the White House, for a massive television special that's going to be shown across the whole of the United States for Memorial Day in the US. I think Obama's going to be there. All the top brass from the military across the United States of America are going to be there, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic and momentous occasion for me. I've got 2 performances at the Royal Albert Hall to celebrate the Queens Diamond Jubilee. It's a great year.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be a pretty busy boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I wish you all the luck with the album and the tour.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks for sharing your thoughts with us.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.